Hi, welcome back. This is the garage clip for Fresh Breath 1. Today we're going to talk about the section of the workout whereby you are facing the tower and you went into the kneeling position doing some back extension. So I'm going to have you go into that position for me. You were kneeling facing the tower and your hands are at the small of your back and you went right into that extension component where you just lifted the upper body up and back down. So I want to tell a couple things about this. I highlighted this in the routine, but I want to highlight it one more time, the importance of noting where the work is coming from, meaning that a lot of times people think that they're going right into low back extension, and the purpose of it is really upper to mid back extension. Carol's doing a nice job. You can take a break if you need to. The purpose of being in the kneeling position, so you're aware of this, is that it takes the pelvis and brings it into a posterior tilt. That posterior tilt helps to flex the lumbar spine and maintain the lumbar spine position so that you're less likely to go into hyperextension of the lower back and you can focus more on the upper back. All right, in the workout, we had Annika demonstrate a seated position and she was facing the tower. So that was a modification to make it easier. However, now your participants are stronger, right? You've gotten a lot stronger, right?
Stronger.
A lot stronger, she says. Good times. All right, come all the way up. Turn around, face the other way. And you can kneel now, facing this way. Aren't you excited?
Yes.
Yes. And then you, again, lower down. It's already harder to come down, as you can see that. And do you feel yourself wanting to fall?
Yes.
You can tuck your toes under the back so you can give yourself a little bit of assistance and make sure the incline level is not too high because they would definitely slide down. And then when you're ready from one arm, you can go to two arms. Can you do that?
I'll try. Well, no.
Yes, you can. You're doing great. And then you take it from here. Beautiful. How do you make it even easier for her so she feels successful, so she doesn't feel like she's falling forward? You step off. Lower down. And what happens?
Much easier.
Do you feel like you're still falling forward? Not as much. So now she can do it this way. And you build up that strength gradually. All right, so that's the upper back extension. So what happens if you go from upper back extension, we went into crouching tiger and into a pike position for the workout. So I'm going to flip her back around and go over that a little bit. Remember, I want to say this one more thing with regards to the upper back extension. When you cue in the workout, give yourself a heads up that you want them down the glide board so they can go fluidly into that crouching tiger. Because if they're here, maybe a little bit easier, but then they have to scoot on back and then get ready for crouching tiger versus just having them here ready to go and bam, they can go into crouching tiger. Before we went into crouching tiger though, I almost forgot one exercise that we do to build up the strength, and that's the plank. So we're gonna call this planking it up. How do we make that plank exercise more challenging? Aren't you excited for this one? So I'm gonna increase the incline level for this. The reason being is the higher you go, the easier the exercise is, and Carol doesn't really know what's coming up next. So I'm gonna set her up for success. So typically you're on incline level 3 anyway. So I'm gonna have you kneel. And this time we're gonna go into a position where you're on your forearms and almost into that plank position there. So you're just gonna walk your arms out a little bit, and I'm gonna have you kneel here. Beautiful. So now she's in this position. Notice she has a little bit less base of support. Her abdominals are in and she's holding the plank. You're thinking, oh, this is a nice modification. I think I saw Annika do this in the video. You can build up someone's strength just by this. I'm gonna have her use her right arm, rather her left arm so you can see it, and she's gonna just reach right for my hand and then bring it back. We're gonna work sagittal plane. If you've attended any one of my courses, you know I go into these planes of motion. We're bringing it into function, sagittal plane. Bam, let's go into frontal plane. Abduction, reaching out, reach, reach, reach. I can have her reach down the floor, really reach, allow that shoulder blade to move and come back. You can reach up, 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 beautiful. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have her rotate by going under her body and then up to the sky. Nice, that looks fantastic. Beautiful. How do we bring this up? How do we plank it up and make it harder? What do you think I'm gonna do to you?
You're opening the glide board on me.
I could open the glide board, but before I even go there, I'll be nice. I'll have you just transition to where you're on your hands. And we can keep there we go. Keep the glide board still. Now she still remains on her knees. What are the positions you go? Forward. Beautiful. You go side, and then you go underneath that body, and you go open. Now what I'm gonna really do here, she's just learning, but I'm really gonna encourage her to move and allow herself to move over that stabilizing arm so she learns to gain function and strength. And it is hard. You feeling that?
Yes.
And if I wanna make it even harder, I bring her legs up. So you can grab a hold of the glide board, get yourself in a position where you feel balanced, and you can just go through one plane of motion if you want, and that could be the sagittal. Oh, no, she's gonna challenge herself. Beautiful. Nice. And come back down. You can go rest onto your knees. Now, one of the things you're gonna see is that board wanting to move. So a cue you're gonna give someone if you want that glide board to stay still is, hey, when you're reaching with that stabilizing arm, put a little bit of pressure through the heel of the hand so the board doesn't slip out. If you're feeling like, okay, I'm progressing someone, but they don't have that stabilization and strength component simultaneously, remember we always have that slide distance regulator, and I like to use that regulator to take the board, hold it in one place, and let them become successful, and then gradually decrease the stability by allowing the glide board to move a little bit, but still controlling the range with the slide distance regulator. You know, there's another component to the plank that you can do, and that's instead of using the arms, you can use some leg drivers. So the tow bar is on for this, and we'll see how we do with the tow bar on in this section, because we leave the tow bar on for fresh breath so that they can fluidly go from one to the next, and we come back to it later on in the workout. So we'll see what kind of drivers you can do, and you'll see, okay, can I work with my client going all through planes of motion or not? So you're gonna go back to this position where you're on your hands and knees. Your feet will go up against the base, and you're gonna push yourself out into a plank position. Now you can have that glide board open, or you can have it closed. It depends upon the stability and strength of your participant. Now, are you ready? Keeping those legs lifted, I'm gonna ask you to take your left leg, bring it up and out to the side, and then bring it back in. Beautiful, up and out to the side, and then back in. How about bringing that leg up towards you, that knee in towards your chest, and then back out, that knee into your chest, and back out. Now get this, how about if you bring the knee kind of across the body? Beautiful, and then come back out. Nice job, one more time. In and back out, nice. And then you can lower your knees and come back in. So that's a way to make that plank exercise where you think you're just holding on more challenging by adding those arm drivers, the leg drivers, gradually building those drivers from having someone start on their forearms, going up into their arms, still remaining on their knees, bringing the knees up, opening up the glide board, and then making that whole exercise more challenging by adding in those legs. Remember the 3 planes of motion. You have front, sagittal, you have side, frontal, and then you have rotational for transverse. One more thing. I talked to you about having that upper back extension earlier, about how you can be seated facing the tow bar. Something to note is that you can do all these exercises with that advanced participant facing the tow bar, but maybe now their hands are on the tow bar. So I'm going to demonstrate this with Carol. She's so excited for this. Is that you can have your hands on the tow bar, your legs can come up, and you can hold the plank there. While someone's doing the arm drivers facing the other way, you might just have them holding plank here. I don't recommend having them reach in all different directions because that takes way too much stability and they don't have a good base of support with their hands. But you can have them do the leg drivers here where they're moving the legs up, maybe out to the side, across their body. Note too, if they are using the tow bar, oh, no worries, you can always kick me. The higher the tow bar, you can take a break. The higher the tow bar, the easier it is for the upper body to stabilize. The lower you go, the more strength the person needs for support. Also remember that incline level, if they're facing away from the tower and their hands are on the tow bar, the lower you go, it's like being on a slippery board with the glide board. So make sure that you have it on an incline level that gives them enough strength and enough stability so you set them up for success. So thanks for tuning in for this garage clip. I hope it helps you out in the future. Thanks.